Hello, my name is Vivian Martinez here with Angelica Conversations 2020. What's up? We're about to talk to the filmmaker from Videogenic. Hello.
Hi, Lawrence Whitener, LAW. I am the only Lawrence Whitener on IMDb because nobody else wanted the job.
He's the only one, folks. You heard it from him. You're going to find him there. He's the only one, number one. And your film, Videogenic, is a short. It's a very, very fun short, I will say. It's,
Yep.
Do you want to talk about it?
Well, I made it as my ode to the old Twilight Zone television show. It was actually my sixth film, as you can see behind me. And all my films are SAG. And I'm also a film judge for the New York Film Festival. It's my seventh year. And
Cool.
a couple of films came out of Portugal 2 years ago with just beautiful drone shots flying in over the Mediterranean. And I said, the next movie I make is going to open with a drone shot, and Videogenic does. And the drone pilot barely missed hitting that train trestle, So I'm like, it's a $1,500 shot, So, but it came out great. And we filmed it down in the town of Occoquan, Virginia, which is right there on the Occoquan River. And they were so supportive, and it was great. And that little, where the camera shop is, that house was built in 1800.
Wow, that is a very old house. I could tell the architecture is very, very old school.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a creepier house to film in. And it was a wonderful experience. We had a crew of 30. And one of the things I do the first day of shooting is I tell everybody, you have a voice. Where you're standing may be a better shot than where I have the camera. If you think something is better, hold up your hand, give a comment, but be able to back it up.
Yeah.
Tell me why you think we should do the shot your way. And I'll walk over. And you're right. This is just the shadow, and let's go, move over. So it's a real team effort on one of my films.
So it's a real collaborative process with your team. That's really great.
Absolutely. I did a film years ago with Ed Harris, and up in New York, and the director was the wonderful, eclectic Michael Armietta, who has Tesla out right now with Ethan. And Ethan's a great guy, but we just happened to be alone on set one day with the director, Michael, who's very diminutive, very quiet. He's got this wonderful mane of white hair. And I complimented him on the teamwork that I saw with his crew. Everybody helped everybody. Normally it's hard, but I complimented him, and he told me something that I've used on every single film since. And he speaks very quiet, which I can't do. And he says, I believe a director's job is to bring together all of the right people and let them make your movie. And that's what I try to do. Cast the right people, bring in the right crew, and then let them make the movie. And that's when you have the wonderful movie magic moments that just happen. And there's quite a few of them in Videogenic. That opening jib shot where the lead walks up over the wall, I mean, that's one of the best shots I've ever seen. And that was all done freehand.
Really?
I've never seen a DP with built-in stabilizers in their hand. But it looks like a very expensive jib tracking shot. He does it all by just holding the camera up, bringing it down, and then following the actor.
Yeah.
It's very wonderful. Yeah.
It's very Twilight Zone. I love the beginning. It's a great homage. Rod Serling would be very proud, I think.
Well, for me, one of the funnest things was finding all those old cameras on eBay.
Oh, fun.
Oh, I mean,
so they're all yours now.
Those are all real cameras, and they all work.
Oh, wow. And they all work?
Yep.
Did you and so none of it's shot with the old cameras, right? You guys use.
No, we were using the 4Ks. Yeah.
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 Because it looked gorgeous. I
Oh,
mean,
it is. It's one of the most beautiful films. The DP is just a video savant, which if you look up Videogenic, it actually means very photographic.
ah,
So that's where I got the name. So yeah, it was just wonderful. We shot it over 2 weekends, 14 days. And it just, yeah, it's already got, I think, 40 some awards.
well,
So
congratulations.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
And
But again, I
yeah,
let them make the movie.
you let the crew make the movie. Yeah, I see you have over 125 nominations. That's great.
Yeah, that's just the nominations. That's not the wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
But hey, to be nominated, you know.
yeah, well, it's not as good as winning, let me tell you.
Yeah, I see a lot of awards back there. So tell me about you as a filmmaker, as a filmmaker on the whole, because you wrote and directed, correct, this short?
Yeah, no,
So,
it was interesting. I was a school teacher and I was set to just retire out as one. And then in 2012, I came down with Meniere's disease, which is vertigo, a very that's a very bad form of vertigo. It took me a year to learn how to deal with it. By that time, though, the school system had gone ahead and retired me out on medical disability. So what am I going to do with the rest of my life? An uncle, yeah, duh. So, I mean, I've got medical disability, I got Social Security, but I don't want to just sit around all day. So my uncle, luckily, when I was growing up, if you ever remember the old television series, The Rifleman,
yes,
with
I
Chuck
do.
Connors, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he was the blacksmith on
Oh,
the
wow.
original Rifleman, yeah, Joe Higgins. And so it was growing up, I would get these phone calls. Hey, Larry, I'm on the Monkees. This Tuesday, I'm on Doctari playing a big game hunter. He's in the movie that's currently playing called Flipper
Oh,
about
cool.
the dolphin. And so, they wound up going, and the original Law and Order was called Arrest and Trial. And Chuck Connors plays the attorney, kind of like a Perry Mason, and my uncle was in that. So I said, you know, maybe I'll try the movies, maybe. And right at the, you know, I'd already done a couple of bit parts, background and so forth, like Robert Duvall and Gods and Generals. And so
Oh,
I
wow.
said, but if I'm going to do something, make the commitment. So for the next 4 years, 2013 to 2015, 16, for the next 4 years, I went to New York every chance I could get and study with any acting coach that would take me. I was also working as a volunteer at my local TV station, learning how to produce and direct and run a camera. And
Wow.
I would go anywhere and do anything and didn't care about the money. So I've now been in over 100 productions. But in
Wow.
2000, yeah, it's amazing how life can, you know, one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
And then I was cast as Fred the bailiff. Excuse me, I'll be right back with David Baldacci.
Oh, very cool.
And I was playing the bailiff, and we happened to be talking one day, and found out that not only had we gone to the same college, but we had graduated with the exact same degree, and while they wrestled under the same coach, and then went to the next university to study law, and then moved to Washington, D.C., where we bought houses 1 mile apart from each other. And for 30 years, we were taking our 2 dogs to the same vet. But we had never talked until that day on the set.
Wow.
And I told him I always wanted to be a writer. But I had tried my hand at novels, and of course, he's just amazing. And I said, but you know, I couldn't even get an editorial published. And then you know, it's one thing to have your own self epiphany, but when somebody else has to give it to you. And he goes, Larry, there's different types of writing. What really makes you excited? What are you passionate about? And I went, holy mackerel, movies. I mean, movies. And so literally on the way home from the set, I am Googling screenwriting professors. And then I wound up, in addition to everything else I was doing, 4 years studying under Yale Professor Mark Lapadula, learning how to write screenplays. So that everything that you see on IMDb right now, I think I've got, I don't know, I'm getting close to 200 in wins.
Wow.
Yeah, but I can't say that to LA execs. They actually get mad at me.
Really? Why?
Yeah,
Why is
no,
that?
I had a meeting. I can't say his name. Huge guy. So Larry, tell me about yourself. I said, well, at that time, I said I've got 180 award nominations on IMDb, and the guy has a mental meltdown right in front of me. That's impossible. You can't have. I don't have. Why do you? And he clicked. He was gone. So now when somebody asks, I say, I'm the only Lawrence Whitener on IMDb. Nobody else wanted the job. If you're really interested, look me up. And it's been a fascinating journey, but everything that you see has really been in the past 4 years.
Wow.
All these movies I've made, Saving Robin Williams, Videogenic, and Ingenuity, I made all three of them within 12 months of each other.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you're keeping yourself pretty busy over there. Do you have something that you're working on now?
Yes, actually, I was set to shoot it. I got Brian Anthony Wilson to be in it, and it's called Weapon of Choices. But what I'm shooting right now is a COVID selfie about the making of, because we were supposed to shoot it last month, and I shut it down because, I just can't imagine. I mean, it was approved to be shot as a SAG film with all the COVID safety rules. But I couldn't imagine what it would be like not being able to shake somebody's hand, hug them, especially when you wrap. So I shut it down until next year, and I'm halfway. I'm almost done. I've got like 2 more scenes to shoot for the COVID selfie about the making of. And the actual title is Weapon of Choices, which is on IMDb. The making of. Kind of, sort of, not really. What the F is a pandemic? Because I take it as a month-to-month diary of what it was like, because, in February, I've got the film set up. And then in March, the world changes.
Yep.
And then over the next couple of months, and because it was so new, SAG was trying to figure out what to do. And we're all waiting for their safety manual. And then we get the 36 pages. And it's, you got to have a COVID set manager. Makeup artists have to be in a hazmat suit. I mean, it's just crazy. Yeah. And so it was month to month of how hard it was to try and learn, and then waiting for the approved labs list to come out, and then being made fun of as a small independent producer when I would try to contact these companies. And the actual dialogue in this COVID selfie is what people really said to me. Like the one company, how many? I'm like, well, I've only got 4 cast and 4 crew. No, not 4,000, 4 and 4. You only have 8? Yes. And the guy starts laughing at me. And he goes, that's the funniest thing I've heard. Can I share the story? Okay, I guess that wasn't the reaction I was going for, and he's gone. And then out of 12 companies that are approved by SAG, only 1 would even talk to me. And that turned out that, yes, they could help me, but it was going to cost me $500 per person. Plus, I would have to put them in hotel rooms for 72 hours by themselves while we were waiting for the lab results. Wow. And it just was just too costly. Yeah. And plus so it just wasn't worth it. And so I shut it down. So now it's Weapon of the Making of, not really, kind of, sort of, what the F is a pandemic.
Well, I like the title.
Thank you. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't, because I lived through it. But it looks like we're getting ready to come out of this. So
fingers crossed.
Yeah, and then I can shoot Weapon of Choice for real with Brian Anthony Wilson, which was great because the actor I had cast went to a bunch of these outside rallies and got. So I had to recast, and I put a Facebook ad, and actually Brian and I will be recording his shot, because when I told SAG I was shut down Weapon of Choices, but I was filming this making of, when they said something to me, I actually responded, "Oh, that's going in the script," which was, wait a minute, Larry, you can't make a movie about yourself, starring yourself, because you're the producer of your own production. And I said, let me write this down. Now tell me, and I did, and it's in the script. I said, now tell me what I have to do. And they said, you have to have at least one SAG actor. So I put an ad on Facebook, and Brian Anthony Wilson responds.
Wow.
So he'll be in the making of for the real life replay of the Zoom session that we had, because he comes on, he's 6'3", and he's got that almost like a James Earl Jones tone to his voice. And he comes on, and I'm like, I can't believe you want to play and work in one of my films. I said, let me ask you, is the only reason why you responded because you have nothing else to do? And his answer was, pretty much. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. So that's in the script for the making of, because
That's
it's
funny.
everything that's in there, just like the Robin Williams film, which just got its 50th award yesterday for its soundtrack. All the dialogue, it's
congratulations.
all the dialogue in Robin Williams is Robin Williams' own quotes. Susan Williams, his wife, read the script to make sure it was accurate, saw the movie, and of course she has her Robin's Wish on Amazon right now. But everything in here is Robin Williams' own dialogue, so it's actually classified as a doc. Yeah, but it was just like that. Everything that's in this making of are real conversations that I had. The guy making fun of me, getting Brian Anthony Wilson, pretty much. I'm like, okay, well, that's not going to go to my head. Okay. So it's a wonderful, but if you're not having fun in this business, there's no point in doing it.
I agree. I think and you could tell in Videogenic that you guys had a lot of fun on set. I mean, the genie character, or whatever you want to call it, I think was one of my
Patrick
favorites.
Boyer. Yeah, I actually wound up, he played my son in a Western that's out called The Marshal. And it was just won Wild Bunch, my scripts win. And so it's if you stay in the business long enough, you'll work with everybody. So I've worked with Ethan Hawke twice, and my character the first time was called Knifey. And when he met me the next time, 2 years later, he went, Knifey? I kind of got the look you can't forget. So, but while we were shooting Videogenic there in Occoquan, we have a sheriff character, and I had that uniform tailored to him to look realistic, and somebody fell into the river. And I turned around and I said, okay, where's Paul? And they said, well, somebody came to get him to help at they thought he was a real police officer. And he was in character. Oh, I'll go see what I can do.
So he goes
I'm like,
to help.
we're shooting a film, But Occoquan is very small. They only had 3 police officers. But for that day, they had a 4th one.
They had an extra one that day. Yeah, that's an increase of, what is that, a 400% officer increase.
So but and then where we were shooting the film there, I never thought about it, but it looks like a realistic camera store, just in a very
it does.
And it was people would walk in on a hot set because they would want to buy one of the cameras that were in the window.
Oh no.
And so one of the props was I actually had one of those closed signs with the clock, be back in an hour, and it was the lead, Donald M., who came up. It's like 4 times people walked in on the set. Hi, I was interested in that camera, the Walden sack, and I'm like, no, we're making a movie. We're not really. Oh, okay. Can I buy it though? No. So we had to hang a close sign on the window. We're closed to keep people out.
So people kept coming in. That's funny. Well, is there anything that you want to leave the audience with Videogenic? It's such a fun little short, but is there something, if you wanted to give something to the audience from the film, what was it, and What do you think?
Well, you know, being a judge, I love it when you look for things you didn't see or hear the first time, and
Mm.
be very careful when Donald's wife disappears, Mary Agnes Sharon, and you hear that in line, you know, "I'll get you, my pretty."
Yeah.
Now, what is that from?
Wizard of Oz. Come
Yes,
on.
yes, ma'am. That's why it's in there. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun putting in little tweaks. And then when the movie Magic, it was a lot of fun. You know, when the sheriff kicks the door in at the end, and he kicked it perfect. You know, and you see the door handle fly apart, and it was everything came together for that, and it
That's
was just
beautiful.
wonderful. So just yeah, the bottom line is I made that solely for the audience to enjoy.
And I did as an audience member. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And so keep making stuff. And I'm excited to see your new project, which the title again is.
Well, the actual movie is called, if you remember the Fat Boy Slim video years ago with Christopher Walken dancing through a hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, it's called Weapon of Choice. That's the name of the song. Mine is Weapon of,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
yeah. We've actually got the music for the film, but
great.
so it's critical. It actually drives the storyline. It's called Weapon of Choices, plural, and it's on IMDb. You can read about it in the storyline. But yeah, but in the meantime, Weapon of Choices, the making of, kind of sort of not really what the F is a pandemic. That'll be done and out by the end of the year.
Well, I love the title. I love the project. And I love talking to you, man. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.